What's up, folks? So basically I recorded this whole audio before, but the file got corrupted and not much is left of it, so I have to do it again right now. This is why the video is a little later than usually. So basically I thought I would make a tutorial because I was doing a new end screen for myself and I decided to make some galaxy in the background. So I thought, why not record it and make a tutorial out of it to show you how to make galaxy with watercolor inks. So what I did is I masked with masking fluid the person in the foreground just so it doesn't get everywhere, and then I drenched the whole rest of the paper with water. After that I went ahead and I used my ColorX watercolor inks in 04 blue cobalt, 58 cyan, 46 violet, and 60 magenta. The cobalt blue I used for most of the piece, and then I put some little specks with the rest of the colors on there. Looking back at it, I wish there was a little more pink, but it looks a little more natural. While doing this, I laid down a lot of water and a lot of ink. I took it pure from the cup, so it was really radiant and very concentrated. Over the process you can mix a couple of colors together so they make different colors a little bit like that. I also used my O2 white from ColorX, and I laid down a couple of drops of that so that it gives it a little bit of stars, but not the real stars. I added them afterwards. And on that white I put more water down so it would kind of blend in more. When doing this, first of all, the masking fluid really helped, otherwise everything would have been on the person. Otherwise you want to use maybe a glass surface. I used a glass surface, but pieces of my paper were stuck to my glass afterwards. Don't do this on your wooden table because it's getting under the paper basically. You can tape it down, but I didn't want a rim around it, so I skipped that. When everything was really blended out and I kind of liked how it looked, I let that dry for just about 24 hours. I'm pretty sure it would have been dry before, but I let it sit for that long. Maybe you want to check on it, but after that much time it was definitely dry. After that I went ahead and I removed all the masking fluid. Now when removing the masking fluid you really want to do it with your finger. I tried with this kind of silicone brush, but that didn't work really. What you have to do is basically you wash your hands so they're really clean, and then you want to rub it not back and forth but all in one direction basically, and that really helps it, and it makes it so it doesn't stain the paper as much, because if you go back and forth, first of all it's hot, so your finger is going to sweat a little and that's gonna leave gray marks on your paper. It's gonna smear everything, not gonna look very pretty. So if you go only in one direction, the stuff can kind of peel off easier. When using the masking fluid, you don't want to use your best brush because that's gonna get ruined. One thing you could do is try out those silicone brushes. I have not tried them out. As you can see, I used a normal brush, but not my favorite one, of course. Basically the masking fluid is gonna stay inside of the bristles and it's never going to get out, so you can't really use it for anything else. And when you clean the brush, don't use water. Try to get it out as much as you can just by cleaning it with paper towels, because as soon as you put water down, it's drying immediately and then you can't get it out at all out of the brush. So don't use water, only paper towel, and try not to use a brush that you always use. When using the masking fluid, you want to be really precise because everything that's getting coated in it obviously is not going to get color on. If you're a little too generous with it, let's say, and you put it a little bit too much over the edges and all, it's gonna look really weird and you might have to fix it up. I put the masking fluid only over the line art and not over any kind of paint. Here's why: because I have done that before and it's not like it's ripping off, like it's not ripping off the paint that much, but there's always the possibility that there's paint that's gonna go over the masking fluid. There's always a little bit of tiny little piece that's not coated in it, and that's gonna get some blue or other color that you're using at that point, and it's easier to get rid of the color when there's no other color underneath, so you can just take it off with some water and paper towel. After everything was dry and before I took off the masking fluid, I used a toothbrush and more of my Colourix white ink, and I tried laying down some stars. I wouldn't really recommend the toothbrush technique. I've seen that people did that, but I don't know if it's because my toothbrush was a kid's toothbrush and the bristles were a little shorter, or because I was wearing a glove, or whatever the reason was, but it didn't really go off of the toothbrush. I decided not to use a brush because I just kind of felt like it was gonna lay down too big of stars and I didn't want that. So just so I could get a lot of little tiny stars everywhere, I still went on with a toothbrush. But I would recommend trying it out with maybe a toothpick and run the toothpick over the bristles of the toothbrush, and maybe that's gonna help a little. After that, you can go ahead with your normal brush and lay down some bigger stars and maybe even make some little cross stars. I didn't want to draw too much attention to the background as it already has a lot of attention since it's so vibrant, so I decided not to draw in really detailed stars. But yeah, then I basically went ahead and I colored the rest of the person. I don't think there's anything more to say. Yeah, that's basically it. If you like this video, I would be very happy if you would show me and like this video. If you want to see more of me, then go check out the links in the description for Instagram and Twitter. Don't miss anything and subscribe because it's free and I make videos every Friday/Saturday. But yeah, that's it for this week, guys. I wish you all a beautiful night and I will see you next week.